All right, here we go again. We're going to talk about our green vinyl FineLine tape. Just like our orange, it has its own place in the scale of rigidness. And this is one of 5 videos based on the scale of rigidness, including all of our vinyl fine lines as well as our crate fine line. So here we go. Our green, when we talk about 1/8 inch, our 1/8 inch tape is generally our go-to standard when it comes to understanding curvatures, and then we base everything off of that. Our 1/8 inch in green curvature is typically about a 2 to 2.5 inch radius, meaning that's where it's going to stay down. You're going to get the best results out of that. When you go lower width, you're going to see our 1/16 inch get even more curvature. That's going to be curvature at about 3/4 inch to 1 inch radius. When you get into 1/4 inch, that of course is going to be a 3 to 3.5 inch radius. And then when you get into our 1/2 inch, you're going to see a 5 to 5.5 inch radius. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do another demonstration here. We're going to actually show the scale of pliability so everyone understands when using the right tool for the right job, you get maximum results. All right, so with our 1/8 inch green fine line tape, we're going to talk a little bit about that radius and the scale of rigidness. Scale of rigidness on our green soft vinyl fine line tape on 1/8 inch is typically about a 2 to 2.5 inch radius. That's going to give you maximum pliability, and it's going to help keep your product staying where you put it. As we talked about before, our 1/16 inch, when you get into a narrower width of tape, you're going to get even more pliability, and the same thing scales upward when you go into a wider style of tape, even if it is in the same scale of rigidness. So on 1/16 of an inch, you can actually run your 1/16 of an inch all the way from 3/4 of an inch, typically to about a 1 inch radius. Those are about the maximum curvatures you should be running. 3/4 to 1 inch, 2 to 2.5 inch, and with our 1/4, of course you're going to take our 1/4 out, and because it's a little bit wider, you're going to get a little bit more of a wider radius. And it's typically going to be on our 1/4 inch to be safe. Is going to be at about a 3 to 3.5 inch radius. We get into our 1/2 inch, we go even wider. And on our 1/2 inch, you're going to typically see about a 5 to a 5.5 inch radius. And as you get wider, you're definitely going to have to make sure that you are working your products correctly so that you get the proper curvature, and that you do not narrow or hourglass your tapes, which is very important. So that again, that explains all of our scale of rigidness. Our 1/2 inch, 5 to 5.5 inch radius. Our 1/4 inch, 3 to 3.5 inch radius. Our 1/8 inch, 2 to 2.5 inch radius. And our 1/16 inch, 3/4 to 1 inch. So that concludes our scale of rigidness, green soft vinyl fine line. If you want to hit up our next video on our scale of rigidness, we're going to talk about blue la blue. So there ain't nothing to it but to do it. We'll catch you on the flip side.